Hello students! Welcome back. This is Ma'am Pao, your information technology teacher. Today, join me as we develop your life skills in information and communications technology or ICT. Students, do you still remember our previous episode where I discussed the hardware? If yes, good job! I even remember that I provided examples of the different types of hardware like keyboard, mouse, monitor, or just about anything that you can touch on the computer system. I hope that our recap keep you on track because our next lesson will show you more interesting and helpful things which you could use in your chosen course someday. If you want to go back and watch our previous episode, all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe as well. In today's episode, we will define what is software and get more understanding on the different types of software. So put down your cell phone, lend me your ears, and prepare your heart to listen. And students, ready your pen and notebook for we are about to start. But before we proceed with our discussion, let us look into the learning outcomes of today's session. To start our lesson, let's have an activity called Guess the Logo. Can you guess the name of this logo? I will give you 3 seconds. Ready? Okay, logo number 1. This is Google Chrome. We have logo number 2. This is Apple. Logo number 3. This is Linux. And we have logo number 4. Microsoft. And finally, logo number 5. It is Android. Did you get them all correctly? If not, do not worry because as we go along with our discussion, we will go back to these logos and get an in-depth understanding of each one and more. Every day, we interact with software created by expert software development companies that help us perform tasks and increase our efficiency. From the Microsoft Windows that greet us when we turn on the computer, to the browser we use to surf the web, and the application on our smartphone that guides us on how many calories did we burn today. Each of these different types of software helps us perform our day-to-day tasks either directly or indirectly. What is software? It is a computer program that provides instructions and data to execute a user's commands. It is an indispensable part of the machine you cannot see, but it allows you to use the computer. Just like how a mouse, monitor, hard drive, and keyboard helps you use the computer. What are the 2 major types of software? We have the system software and application software. Let us first discuss the system software. It helps the user, hardware, and application software to interact and function together. These types of computer software allows an environment or platform for other software and applications to work in. This is why system software is essential in managing the whole computer system. When you first power up your computer, it is the system software that is initially loaded into memory. Unlike application software, the system software is not used by end users like you. It only runs in the background of your device at the most basic level while you use other application software. We have also different types of system software. We have operating system, device drivers, firmware, language translators, and utility. So we'll discuss first the operating system. All computers need some sort of operating system to function. The operating system controls the flow of information to and from the CPU. Basically, the computer starts from scratch every time you turn the power on, and it first needs to load the operating system or booting up. It automatically checks all its components and then loads into the operating system. Once the operating system is loaded, the user can start an application or program. Operating systems are an example of system software. All of your computer-like devices run on an operating system, including your desktop, laptop, smartphone, and tablet. So we have here the following examples of operating system. We have Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Unix, Ubuntu, CentOS, Android, and iOS. Next is we have device drivers. This is a type of software that controls particular hardware that is attached to the computer system. Drivers are important because they enable the devices to perform their designated tasks. Hardware devices that need drivers to connect to a system include displays, sound cards, printers, mouse, and hard disk. Therefore, each device connected with your computer requires at least one device driver to function. Examples, we have BIOS driver, USB driver, printer driver, and display driver. Another type of system software is firmware. It is known as permanent software or instructions stored in the motherboard, storage, or ROM or read-only memory of the computer system. The primary function of firmware is to check errors and ensure that all necessary hardware devices are working properly as soon as the user turns on the computer. If everything is working, the firmware wakes up the system and transfers control to the operating system. Example of firmware: BIOS or the Basic Input-Output System, UEFI, which is expected to replace the traditional BIOS, embedded systems, computer peripherals, and computer applications. Next is we have the programming language translators. These are intermediate programs that software programmers rely on to translate high-level language source code into machine language codes. It helps convert computer programs written in high-level programming languages such as Java, C, C++, Python, etc. into instructions that can be interpreted by machines as object-level code or machine code. So examples of language translators, we have assembler, compiler, and interpreter. And we have the last type of system software is utility software. This is primarily developed to analyze, optimize, configure, and maintain a computer system or its resources. This usually helps to support the computer infrastructure smoothly. It monitors how the operating system is performing and then gives suggestions or make changes automatically to improve the functioning and overall performance of the computer. It includes various computer software categories such as antivirus, disk cleanup, and management tools, performance optimizers, defragmenters, compression tools, etc. Examples, we have the Windows File Explorer, the WinRAR, WinZip, and antivirus and security software. Next is application software. It is a set of programs and instructions that help perform specific tasks on a computer system. It is mainly designed to meet certain requirements of a particular environment. It typically runs in the front end, making it more accessible and intractable to users. It is mainly developed or programmed to complete specific tasks on computers such as image editing, word processing, gaming, etc. So we have here different types of application software. We have word processors or word processing, database software, multimedia software, graphics software, and web browsers. So we have word processors. These are primarily designed to create documentation on computers or other electronic devices. It also helps in managing, formatting, storing, and printing documents. Examples are Microsoft Word, Google Docs, OpenOffice Writer, Corel Word Perfect, Abby Word, and Apple iWork Progress. Another example of application software is database software. It is a useful computer software that mainly helps in creating and managing databases. It is also called DBMS or Database Management Software. It plays an important role when organizing data on a computer or server. So we have here different examples. We have Microsoft Access, MySQL, DBase, Clipper, and FoxPro. Another is we have multimedia software. It is mainly used to perform tasks related to media files such as audio or video files. It helps to play, create, or modify media files. It plays an important role in image editing, video editing, animation, and graphics-related tasks. Examples are Windows Media Player, Windows Movie Maker, VLC Media Player, Picasa, Adobe Photoshop, and Media Monkey. Another is we have the graphics software. It is strictly designed keeping in mind the graphics-related tasks. It primarily helps users to design logos, edit images, and make other changes to visual data. It includes many built-in tools and features to make editing and illustration easier. So we have the following examples: Adobe InDesign, CorelDRAW, GNU Image Manipulation Program or GIMP, MS Paint, Blender, and Autodesk Maya. Next is we have web browsers. These are mainly used for searching or browsing the internet. It is specialized computer software and helps users to find specific web addresses to retrieve the data across the web. Examples, we have Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, Opera, and Safari. For education and reference software, these are mainly designed to help users learn specific topics on specific subjects. There are various kinds of tutorial software that fall under this category. They are also termed as an academic software. So examples, Delta Drawing, GeoGebra, GCompress, and TaxFit. We have also different classification of computer software. We have freeware, shareware, open source, closed source, and middleware. Now that we have discussed the major types of software, and now you must be wondering about the software you use most frequently. For example, trendy social media software applications like Snapchat and Instagram. You must be thinking about what category they fall under. Can they only be classified as a broad category of application software, or are there better ways to describe them? The answer is yes. Other than the major types of computer software, there are various classifications of software. This classification is generally based on the availability and shareability of the software. Let's discuss 5 additional classifications of software and understand them using examples of trendy software. So first, we have freeware. It is a software that is available to use for free. They can be downloaded and installed over the internet without any cost. Although they all fall under the category of application or end-user software, they can further be categorized as freeware because they are free for you to use. Examples, Adobe Reader, Audacity, Skype, and TeamViewer. Another example or classification is shareware. They are software applications that are paid programs but are made available for free for a limited period of time known as trial period. You can use the software without any charges for the trial period, but you will be asked to purchase it for use after the trial ends. Shareware allows you to test drive the software before you actually invest in purchasing it. Examples: Adobe Acrobat, WinZip, GetRight, and PHP Debugger. Another classification is the open source software. This is a type of software that has an open source code that is available to use for all users. It can be modified and shared with anyone for any purpose. It can either be free or chargeable. Examples: Apache Web Server, Mozilla Firefox, Thunderbird, and Moodle. And we have another classification is the closed source software. These are the types of software that are non-free for the programmers. For this software, the source code is the intellectual property of software publishers. It is called proprietary software since only the original authors can copy, modify, and share the software. Most of the software used on computers is closed source and asks users to pay or purchase them. They are developed for commercial use, however, they can be both commercial and private. Examples are Google Earth, Adobe Flash, Microsoft Office, and Microsoft Windows. And we have also another type of software, which is the programming language software. So it is a software that is not used by end users. It is not for you unless, of course, you are a programmer who writes code. Programming software are programs that are used to write, develop, test, and debug other software, including apps and system software. Examples: we have Java, C++, Python, and HTML. Students, now that we have discussed the different types of software, it's time to have a short review. You will have 3 seconds to answer the following. Are you ready? Let's start. Question number 1. Android and iOS are examples of what type of software? The correct answer is system software. Question number 2. What type of software are C++ and Java? And the correct answer is programming language software. Question number 3. Which are examples of application programs? And the correct answer is all of the above. Question number 4. A type of software where you can play, create, or record images, audio, and video files. And the correct answer is multimedia software. Question number 5. It is a type of software that is freely distributed to users on a trial basis. Once the limit expires, the users are asked to pay for the continued service. And the correct answer is shareware. Students, how many scores did you get? I am sure you got high score in this activity, and because of that, good job and congratulations! You often can complete tasks using technology in multiple ways. Figure out how to perform the tasks described in these exercises by using one or more resources available to you. As what we have mentioned a while ago, it is very important to know the version of our operating system. Who among of you here have tried to check their PC or mobile devices? Okay, so let us try to determine your operating system version. Companies such as Microsoft, Apple, and Google release new versions of operating systems periodically. Software and drivers sometimes are designed for specific operating systems versions, which means you may need to determine your operating system version so that you can obtain the proper software. The following steps describe how to determine your operating system version. First, if necessary, turn on your computer or mobile device, then sign in to the operating system. Some operating systems will display the version when they run. If the operating system version is not displayed, continue following the steps. If you are using a Mac computer, click the command on the Apple menu to display information about the computer. to determine the operating system version. If you are running an operating other than Mac OS, continue following these steps. Display the control panel or settings for your computer or mobile device. Then, navigate to and then click the command to display system information about the computer or device and then locating the operating system version. For your exercises, what operating system are you running? Next, what are some other reasons why you might need to know the operating system version on your computer or mobile device? What might happen if you attempt to install a program or app that is not designed for your operating system version? Congratulations, students! You have successfully determined your operating system version. You did great! You can often solve problems with technology in multiple ways. At this time, you are going to determine a solution to the problem by using one or more resources available to you. Congratulations, students! You have found solution to a given problem. Good job! Now it's time for you to write your reflection. Well, we have reached now the end part of our episode. I hope that you have able to learn a lot about different types of software. Once again, this is your IT teacher, Ma'am Pao, and here is a reminder for you. Just because the past didn't turn out as you wanted it to, does not mean your future can't be better than you've ever imagined. Don't lose hope and always strive to be at your best. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.